Syracuse, and Wednesday before the Thanksgiving holiday against Clemson.
Yeah, just about getting that started a little bit sooner in the ACC schedule.
Jane Petrie with the serve to open us up here on a Sunday afternoon. First swing from Anastasia Nikolnikova is blocked. Bumped over by Skylar George. Brooklyn Yellen, the BC libero, there to get it. And Audrey Ross puts the first swing of the day away for the Eagles.
Good patient approach there for Boston College, just trying to find the right opportunity. Syracuse only hit .081 in that first set against Boston College on Wednesday, so look for them to get a little bit more comfortable early on.
Here's a look at Petrie. Just shy of 200 assists on the season for her. Spot duty as a setter. To the middle, and a block returns. Haggerty was there waiting for it. Ross again slammed it down the line, out wide. Wanted a tip, didn't get it.
Yeah, it was George on the left side with a great job just going out towards the line to keep that play alive off the ricochet. Goes back to Boston College, and they're unable to kill it, but Skylar George, she had a great game against the Eagles last time out as well.
Zaria Harris-Wadi, the sophomore middle from New Jersey, in to serve for the Orange. Tough floater, sends Ross sprawling to the floor. Swing for Pollock, floats out wide. Looks like she might have mishit that one a little bit.
You called it on that serve. Nice little float that dies down towards the line, and gave BC a little bit of trouble there on the serve receive, but Syracuse trying to capitalize.
Another floater, this one handled by Yelland. Set will be to the back for Schroeder. Just barely kept her foot on that 10-foot line, but a well-spotted ball. And Schroeder picks up the kill on the push shot.
Palm couldn't get the palm on it.
There you go.
Starting us off early, Ben. Starting us off early.
Audrey Ross with the serve now for BC. Now here's Morgan Riddle, the grad transfer, and an ace. Number 16 on the season for Riddle. Spent some time at libero in the early part of the non-conference, has settled into a nice DS role here lately. Tip dug by Petrie, set up for Schroeder, through the block, and out. It was deflected, according to the official, so Schroeder off to a quick start with 3 kills.
And you like it. Last time Schroeder went cross-court, tried to get the piece off the block. This time trying to go down the line, still gets a piece off the block. So you like her direction and where she's going, and it looks like we might get a challenge here.
Lakir So the early challenge turns out to be a good one for the Orange. They overturn it, 6-4, the Boston College lead. Syracuse as a program, a couple tough years last year, but they are not far removed from an NCAA bid in 2018, so it'll be interesting to see if they can continue to sort of work their way up what is continuing to be a tough ACC year in and year out. Cornelia Roach finds room in the back on her first touch of the day.
Well, especially now with the new additions to the conference, it only gets that much more harder, and yeah, you might get some extra bids into the tournament, but you've got to finish in the top 10 now, and that line used to be at 8-7. Now it's gone down a little bit, so a lot of teams in the conference getting a chance to potentially see postseason play.
Here's Lambros with her first serve. Big shot down the line, deflected off the top of Hoppus and out of play. Ava Palm with her first kill. One of a handful of grad transfers for this Syracuse team. That's how the Orange have sort of looked to build it out the last couple of years. Stops at CSU Bakersfield in her hometown out west, and also spent her first 2 years at UTEP. Breda Schlichter, Syracuse libero with the serve. Lambros pushes it out. Hoppus caught Palm off balance. Swing to the back for Riddle. Back set, Schroeder on her offside. That one off the mark. So Hoppus and Schroeder each taking a swing on their opposite side. BC not quite able to convert in that sequence.
This is what Syracuse did. They hung around in that last match on Wednesday, and they had a great fourth set where they trailed 19-15, went on a 10-3 run, so they know they're capable of big runs.
To the middle, Roach puts another one down. Nice timing play there for the senior from Connecticut.
You know, this match means a lot to her, and she wants to show out.
Already 2 kills in the first set. That's more than she had on Wednesday. It's held to just the 1 kill. Palm drills it. Riddle gets a piece, and Schroeder can't track it down. Too strong there from Palm.
It's a couple times now that Syracuse has gone to Palm on that left side. She was calling for it early in the match. It went the opposite way. This time she's getting it and capitalizing here against the BC defense.
You mentioned Syracuse able to hang around in that match on Wednesday. Another reason they did, they sort of out-BC'd BC in the sense that they won the blocking game, which is something that the Eagles have done in just about every match this year. Lambros to the back. Hoppus is rejected. Stuffed one-on-one by Palm.
That's just a great job. Great read. Gets up in time. Keeps the arms strong. You're going to see right here, elevation as soon as that ball reaches its point of contact, and nothing Hoppus can do.
Searzant, the setter, with the serve. Lambros quick to the outside for Audrey Ross, and that one is put away.
BC can go 1-2-3 like that. They're such a dangerous team. Syracuse unable to set up, and the kill comes quickly.
Ross has been heating up late in the season. Double-digit kills, 6 of her last 8 matches. Ratcheted up a season-high 21 on Wednesday against the Orange. Searzant to the back, and the slide ball nicely put home by Nicole Nikova. Another transfer. She comes from the junior college ranks, Southern Idaho. Her stop for the previous 2 years. She was a junior college All-American first-teamer last season. Second in the country in hitting percentage. To the middle, and Haggerty returns the favor. So teams continue to trade points here in the early stages. Back to the setter switch for Boston College as Petrie and Pollock return. Nikki Shimau, the other libero, in there for the pass. The tip dug up by Pollock. Set for Ross, off the block, and Schroeder couldn't control it. A little bit of a tight set that time, and Nicole Nikova was all over it.
Yeah, a couple of times now with Nicole Nikova just contorting the body, trying to figure out where that ball is going to go as soon as she's trying to make contact with it. Both times already 2 points for Syracuse, and again, they're not letting BC pull away.
Harris Wadi in to serve. Petrie on the move, back row shot. Schroeder finds the line. Palm sort of watched it, hoping it would go out, but Schroeder had it marked.
That one had some English on it. A couple of rotations on the spin, and it just dies down towards the near line, and that's just a smart shot there from Haggerty.
4 kills early on for Hallie Schroeder. Ross serves at Palm. Sierzant, slide ball again, and that one is smashed by Nikolnikova.
Yellen had the right reach, got to the right spot. There was too much on that shot from Nikolnikova. You're gonna see it right here. Eyes it out, gets it, and then right down the line. Yellen was there, but again, just too much pop.
Just couldn't get the arms underneath the ball. Emma Ortiz comes back in to serve. Schroeder's pass, a good one. Set for Haggerty. Bounced and lands in.
Well, when that first touch for Boston College is as clean as it is at the net, it's 1, 2, 3 and out. That's it. They're not trying to extend the rally. They're not trying to give Syracuse an opportunity to make a play on the ball, and that's what you want to see, and that's what Jason Kennedy's pretty excited about.
The serve receive has been somewhat inconsistent for the Eagles this year. Nice swing on the move there by George. Ross able to get back to it. Rally extended. Shimau, Sierzant, George, the tip, and it's in. George thought she had it the first time around. Second time around, Skylar George made sure there was no pass to be made.
Well, just all effort here from Ross again. Just swings it back into the court. And you know, sometimes you make that running play. It doesn't get as accurate as you want it to be, but to get it into the court and give your team a chance, those are the types of hustle plays you want to see.
George now with the serve. Petrie back for Pollock. Goes to the tip. Well read by Schlichter. Back row swing for George. Roll shot. Pollock is there. Petrie for Schroeder. Off the block. Petrie and Yellen. Schroeder a second time. Finds a seam.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. And Schroeder got denied the first time. Second time, she finds the opening.
Setter change again for BC in this 6-2 offense. Lambros back in, Hoppus into the front row. Line drive serve. A little too much on that one for
Hoppus. Even when Sequoia Lane came in, she got a couple of points there for the Eagles.
Palm gonna get another look out of the timeout. It's blocked, lands back on the orange side. Palm gets the reset, the tip comes to Ross. Lambros goes back for Hoppus. She's turned away again. Second time that Palm has stuffed Hoppus one-on-one.
Yeah, just alone, all Palm there, all by herself, doing a good job just reading the shot, knowing that the power is coming, and instead just sends it right back to the opposite side of the court.
That'll get Sierzant back to the line. That one into the net. First Syracuse missed serve of the day. Haggerty will come into the front row. Brooklyn Yellen serving for BC.
Syracuse with 5 kills on 21 attacks, but just one attacking error. They haven't really made the costly mistakes, and while Boston College has, they still are fortunate enough to have a 2-point lead.
Again, building the gap up early in terms of team kills. Big swing out of the back. Haggerty somehow got it over into the middle, and Haggerty with a block. All Julia, all the time.
Oh, we talked about it being an important day on senior day, and Haggerty, good arm action, and then right here is going to get right back into position. Sometimes players are just spun around. They don't get right back to where they need to be. Haggerty goes right there and protects the net, knowing that it's coming back, and gets the point for the Eagles.
And block number 1 of the day for Julia Haggerty, who is on watch every time she takes the floor. Let's hear from
at Boston College, where they haven't had such a prolific player in a conference like this in a long time. It shows you that, hey, maybe this player can make it in the new league, or make it playing internationally, or for Team USA.
Yeah, Jason Kennedy saying doors have maybe started to open for her professionally, especially given the terrific year she's having, trying to get to that 2 blocks per set number, which has not been accomplished by a player in the 25-point scoring era of college volleyball.
And it feels so easy for her at the net sometimes. It's just no effort.
Off the serve, Hoppus again, blocked, this time out of bounds. Palm was there again, along with Pola Bunaroshka, a 6'3" freshman who's only seen spot duty this year for the Orange, but Again, Syracuse had that terrific block set up Wednesday, and they're looking for plenty of size to match BC.
3 blocks already for the Orange and leading the Eagles in this first set.
Syracuse for George. Yellen got enough of it. Battle at the net. Comes to Petrie. Set up for Ross. Nice adjustment there by Audrey Ross.
Yeah, you called it. I mean, Yellen's going to save this ball and then get right back into position to set it up. But Ross was a little deeper than she wanted to be. Had to wait for it to come back. You're going to see not set up towards the net, so has to go across court a little bit, one step. But that helps her open up the space.
Syracuse, the back set. Nicely put away there by Nikolnikova. 4th kill for the native of the Ukraine, out of the capital city, Kiev. And again, interesting switch. So Harris Wadi is basically coming in as a serving specialist here for Bunarovska, but it's very rare that you see a middle hitter come in as a service. That tells you about the quality of her float serve. Roll shot, nice dig by Sierzant. Popped up for George, and she's able to push through.
Yeah, well, we said it early on. That serve was giving BC some issues right off the start, and she's got a lot of points for Syracuse when she's coming in, so why not use it to your advantage?
Ross, clean pass there, set for Haggerty, slam down.
Looked like a little Jordan logo there. She got up and then split the legs. Watch this, little split leg action.
Freeze frame it.
Julia, right?
There you go. Freeze frame it, hanging on the wall.
Get that picture at the end of the senior day ceremony right there.
Tough serve from Ross. Sierzant out for George. Tight set off the block, and Ross can't get there.
I thought she was. She's gotten to every ball so far. Even had the swan dive to try to get it on the far side. But credit Syracuse, they are not going quietly in this first set. BC looked like they were going to pull away after the timeout. Look at that effort again from Ross. Just all-out effort here today. And you're going to see a lot of that from all these players on the court.
Emma Ortiz in to serve again. Schroeder elects to pass it. That was going to be close to the line. Nice back set, Pollock, and Ortiz got caught going the other way. Deflection aids Pollock there. And the senior from Canada converts her 2nd kill of the day.
Well, it's just good to see Pollock. She missed some time earlier this year due to injury, returned back in that Miami matchup, and you can just see it. Great arm rotation, knew where she wanted. She picked out her spot.
One thing we talk about with this senior class, their ties back to Boston College's only postseason title. It was NIVC champions 2 years ago in 2022. Pollock was an integral part of that rotation along with Lambros and Haggerty, but those are sort of the last 3 members of that group that was the first team to accomplish a postseason feat for BC.
Yeah, Pollock that year, 2.13 kills per set, had close to 100 digs. Was up to 76 blocks. I mean, she was all over the floor in that NIVC run back in 2022.
Petrie, Pollock again. Nice pop-up by Schlichter. Sierzant gets it to George, rolled deep, fought off by Riddle. Chance for Schroeder. Bounced off the net, did not hit the antenna. George, another rip shot off the block and out of bounds. Skylar George getting locked in right now.
She was the hot hand for Syracuse in that Wednesday matchup. Team leader in kills, and for a freshman to make the impact that she has so far, double-digit kills in 7 of the 14 wins for Syracuse. So when she's going, Syracuse can go.
George trying to get Syracuse back even here at the service line. Comes to Yelland. Petrie to Schroeder. Looked like Roach was going to take that. Instead, it made its way out to Schroeder, who delivers her 6th kill.
Yeah, it looked like a great decoy play there. You fake it to the middle, let the pass go through, and then you get the shot from Schroeder. I mean, look at this setup. Beautifully done at the net, right through, and then Schroeder has that lane to get to the ball because Syracuse is assuming it's going to the middle.
Clean pass, Palm. Riddle off the deflection. Lambros to Schroeder, finds the angle. 7 kills here in the first for Hallie Schroeder. Syracuse wants a timeout. Eagles have matched their largest lead here at 23-20 with the end of the first set in sight.
Well, Schroeder had 22 kills against North Florida earlier this year, over 10 double-doubles on this season, and you can see why. She's not doing the same shot over and over again. You can see throughout the set, she's picking her spot, she's getting the defense and the blocks to move, she's decoying as well, trying to set up on the outside, and that's what you want to see from Schroeder on that outside. Get those opportunities to get points, get the defense overthinking a little bit about how she's going to attack them, and then that gives you the right foot on when you're going up at the net to attack.
Sophomore now with over 350 kills. That is more than 100. Sort of the conversation that goes in hand with that is, what does the future of the program look like? And based on what we've seen from Hallie Schroeder and Audrey Ross and Brooklyn Yellen this year, the future is in pretty good hands. Lambros for Schroeder. This time the block is there. That's Moore in the middle along with Searzant to get up for that one.
Felt like that set was just a little bit too far back for Schroeder, and the block's able to get the side help as well. So the opening that was there for Schroeder was closed quickly. Credit that block for Syracuse.
Schlichter with the serve, trying to get the Orange back in the set. Schroeder with a clean pass. Lambros back to her, tight ball, and nice save, George. Searzant just gets it over. Lambros back for Schroeder again, off the block, and it drops. So no matter where Schroeder is on the floor, this time on the opposite side, but Lambros has just been determined to feed the hot hands.
Yeah, and she's making it work, right? No matter where she is, again, just pulling it back, still getting enough on it to make it a difficult little float shot that drops down.
Schroeder to try to serve out the set. Searzant to the middle. Lambros, and that's out of the reach of Ross.
Like BC was trying to go back to that play that got them a point earlier, but Ross thought that time it was going to be taken by Roach, and instead it just kind of falls away from the arm.
Searzant back to serve. Still set point BC. Ross set to the middle. Tip from Roach right to Schlichter. It's Palm. It's blasted. Two set points saved from the Orange.
Ava Palm, I mean, she's got a cannon on that left side. She has put these down, and not much that Brooklyn Yellen can do.
Timeout for Jason Kennedy. The Orange have fought off 3 set points to get it back within one, 24-23 here in the opening set.
Syracuse trying to close out their season on a high note. Only one win in the month of November. It came in that reverse sweep against Notre Dame, but a couple of 5-set matches this year that they feel like they could have been in. Even that match against Duke early in the year is a 3-1 loss, but felt like they had chances to pull away from the Blue Devils and maybe escape with the victory. Both teams maybe will go back on this year and look at some matches that they could have done better on and put in the win column.
Well, for BC, they will rue a handful of 5-setters they had against ranked opponents that they were right there with. Just couldn't find a way through to the other side. Lambros to Ross. Saved to the back by George. Chance for Palm, the tip. Lambros there. Another look. This time it's Harrington. She's blocked. Great job by Palm and Bunarovska. Harrington, who was so good on Wednesday, couldn't find a way to get her first swing through.
Yeah, it looks like she waited a little too long for that one to come down, and Syracuse able to regroup.
Tight pass, Lambros saved it. Roach couldn't put it away. Nice save by Schlichter. Bunarovska mishit it, almost led to a tip kill. Harrington just rolls it over. Palm will get a chance. Through the block and down. What a rally by Syracuse. 4 straight for the Orange to give them set point. Timeout, Jason Kennedy.
Well, we said it before, back on Wednesday, Syracuse trailed in that 4th set. It was 19-15. They went on a 10-3 run. This is a team that, even when their back's against the wall, they do not cave, they do not fold to pressure. They actually kind of relish in it.
Well, and part of the sequence, a couple big digs by Greta Schlichter. That time, a good block and That has been a prominent feature for the Orange here in the opening set as well. 5 blocks to just 1 for Boston College. And this is an Eagles team that has registered as one of the best blocking teams, not just in the ACC, but in the country, right up there with Louisville. So top 10 nationally, but Syracuse has sort of tweaked their rotation, tweaked their structure a little bit, and they're throwing a lot of height up at the net right now.
Yeah, a lot of height, a lot of different looks. I mean, a lot of the cross-court kills are giving Boston College some fits. I mean, they're not getting to the right position, and when Haggerty is there, it feels like Syracuse is doing a good job going away from where Julia Haggerty is and forcing Boston College's other middles or other net presence to make the play, and it's benefited the Orange so far here in the first set.
Haggerty hoping to get another chance here on the first. Gonna need a side out from the Eagles here, though, in order to get it. 4-0 run from Syracuse. They were down 24-21. Now have a chance to steal the first set here on the road. Ross with the pass. Lambros gives it to her. Ross with a tip right to Searzant. This timing on the play. Palm is blocked, saved by George. Palm again, the tip off the block. Roach is under it. Ross second time around, out long. Ross just put a little too
here as a freshman, but then ultimately winning it back in 2022 and trying to bridge it, right? Get these new freshmen and sophomores to understand what it is to win at Boston College.
Eagles trying to rally back after dropping the first set. Nice one-handed setup by Petrie there. Feeding Haggerty for the kill, her 4th. How about Petrie in that first set? 10 assists, 4 digs.
Yeah, really good movement of the ball from Petrie, and you see it there on the first point. I really like what Syracuse is doing, though. Off the serve, it's been so hard for Boston College to set it up nicely.
Back row shot from Palm. Again, too much heat. Here's a look at the numbers from that first set. Syracuse rallying back late to pull the upset. Again, 7 fewer kills, but the hit percentage higher. And BC better in the digs. Syracuse winning the blocking battle. A lot of similarities to Wednesday's matchup. The difference was the efficiency hitting the ball for the Orange.
Absolutely, 268 in that first set.
That one just out from Harris Wadi. She can't believe it. She thought that was in. And are we going to get an early Syracuse challenge again? We are. So, Bakir Ganesharadam will have another early look. He had an early challenge in the first set that went his way, and believes this serve. Credit Harris Wadi with the ace and flip that score to 2-1 Syracuse.
Her serves have really given Syracuse some life when she's come in.
This time Schroeder will take it. Set for Hoppus, again blocked. This time it's George along with Sydney Moore up there, and Hoppus has had a tough time finding a way through today.
Yeah, just good read by the block. You just see how in sync they were going to that left side. George gets the majority of it.
Oh, another ace. That one fumbled a little bit by Schroeder. Syracuse just continuing to build on the momentum off of that first set run.
For BC, it's just been the errors, just making mistakes on the serve and on the attack. They are starting to pile up.
Yellen takes this one. Petrie to the middle. Roach is blocked. Yellen will set it up for Hoppus. High off the hands. Searzant back row for Palm. Dug by Riddle. Chance for Schroeder. Tipped off the block. Petrie to the middle. Roach spun it off the hands and out. Third kill for Cornelia Roach.
Yeah, she's asking for that one at the net. Did a good job. Once Yellen was able to regroup, getting into position, and then just finishing it off the block.
A little bit of a rotation change here for BC. Aubrey Moore, the freshman setter, checks in for the first time to serve. Anna Harrington, who we saw at the end of the first set, is in the front row as well. Moore had a career-high 31 assists on Wednesday against the Orange. George feeds Palm. Short shot right to Harrington. Moore's first set challenges Schroeder, and Jason Kennedy quickly up out of his chair.
Yeah, just hasn't been happy with the start of this second set from the Eagles. Feels like they're just out of sorts. The setups haven't been nice, forcing the hitters to readjust on some of those opportunities.
Emma Ortiz in for Syracuse. Schroeder, tough pass. Riddle and Yellen almost got their signals crossed. Chance in the middle, tipped, and it lands in. A fingertip is enough there for Sydney Moore.
But again, just good adjustment by Moore. Gets up to the net, sees the block in front of her, and decides to go across the net, get some help from the tape.
Yellen. Schroeder has to chase to the bench. Moore over, almost put that ball out. Moore again, and Riddle unable to pick it up. 2 in a row for Moore. Syracuse rolling here in set 2, in front by 5.
I like it. Jason Kennedy just going to leave his team out there to figure it out, not call an early timeout here at 7-2 in the second set.
And an ace. Well, Yellen, you got fooled there. Ball was at head height. She thought it was going to sail. Instead, it dropped. The Canal Center, along with Louis Sanchez, Ben Altscher here with you on ACC Network Extra. Syracuse trying to take that 2-0 lead. Here you see they are top 5 in the ACC in blocking. Boston College has been right up there with Louisville, Pitt amongst the nation's leaders. Obviously, Haggerty a big part of that for BC, but it has been certainly a team effort. But that momentum firmly on Syracuse's side today. They won the blocking battle Wednesday, 19-17, but it has been a much more wide margin today.
Getting contributions from everybody on the floor.
And serving right now, causing BC all sorts of problems. Another free ball for the Orange, and it leads to another kill from Skylar George. Now, when we've seen the Eagles have stretches of rough play this year, this is sort of what it's looked like, Louis. They just have some trouble with that first pass on serve receive.
Yeah, it's that first touch. It's just too high, too out of sync, and Syracuse going to give them a point back, but that's exactly it then, is when you can't get your system going or you're just already out of sync on that first touch, Syracuse going to capitalize on it, right? They have such a big presence at the front of the net here today in this matchup. They made the adjustments from game 1 to game 2. Now how Boston College is going to respond here in this match.
Nice save by Moore as Searzant went over on 2. Harrington off the block, saved by Shimau. In the middle, off mark there was Moore. Just mistimed the set from Searzant. So Eagles able to answer back. Schroeder serving. Searzant for Moore again. The tip and blocking the net from Moore. Would have been Syracuse point either way.
She's got such a good running start with her length as well. She can cover a lot of ground. Even if that set isn't in the right spot, she has had some really good adjustments in the air today to still end up with a point.
George with a serve. Overpass from Ross. Tipped down, but saved by Riddle. Hammered back across. Ross rolls it over. Back row. George rips it. Riddle there again. Yelland just puts it to the middle of the floor. Another rally extender. Syrzant third time. It's Palm. It's blocked. Kept alive. Roach slams it through. How about the defense there from Morgan Riddle?
Well, you talked about it. BC's defense has to step up, whether it's their blocks or their digs. But you think about what a save there for Syracuse to try to extend the play. They had a couple of really good digs to extend the play, but Roach capitalizes there at the net. You can win those plays if you're Boston College. That gives you some momentum here in the second set to try to chip away.
Yelland with the serve, challenges Ortiz. It's Palm, off the block, right to Schroeder. Moore, tight set, Ross with the tip, and it lands in. Tough ball for Ross, but she fixed it.
That's what you want to see. Great job by Ross on that far side, able to readjust, seeing that the set went a little too far, and then just punches it over, gets a piece.
Yelland again with the serve, forces Syrzant to chase, tight set, that's not going to find the angle. Moore tried to sell it like there was a deflection. It's that Ivy League background coming into play, right?
Sometimes if they don't call it, you just play it through, right?
Always thinking a step ahead. Moore again, that one too sharp an angle, was looking for a deflection, but no challenge coming this time from the Syracuse side. So a little mini run here from Yelland, and it's going to lead to a timeout from Syracuse. Momentum starting to turn back the other way. A couple misplays by the Orange. And BC, which had been down by 6, all of a sudden back within 2.
Yeah, 4-0 run here for Boston College. They're hitting better on that final.
Boston College.
All those players talking about what this 4-year journey, or in Morgan Riddle's case, a 1-year journey, has meant to be a part of this program. Out of the timeout, there's block number 2 for Haggerty. Able to team up with Harrington to shut down Ava Palm. There's updated numbers for Haggerty, top 10 all-time in total blocks. Again, the 25-point scoring era, so 2008 on. Palm answers right back for Syracuse, but just another snippet there to show you what sort of history Haggerty has made this year.
Yeah, just incredible. Continues to rise in the record books, and you can just see her excitement playing this season. It's not even about the stats for her. It's just about having fun out on the court.
11 blocks on Wednesday, got her over 200 for the season. Now another kill from Haggerty, her 5th of the day. First player in college volleyball to have 200 total blocks in a season since Tammy Alade of Stanford in 2022. So it had been a couple years. We know Haggerty's got a couple more matches to chase history in that elusive 2 blocks per set meter. Nice set by Syrzant for Palm, and Schroeder couldn't do much with that.
And when Syracuse needs a response, when they need an answer, they have gone to Ava Palm and ran into a wall a little bit there on BC's 5-0 run, but now she's made the adjustments and she is putting a lot more pop on those shots.
Early runs from both teams, and now back to vying for momentum. Audrey Ross, high bounce off the block, but right to Palm. Chance here for Nicole Nikova, turned away. Ross again, got more underneath that one, but so did Schlichter. Free ball coming from Palm. Schroeder, Petrie to the back. Pollock couldn't get there. Just pushed it a little bit too far, and a missed opportunity there for BC.
Yeah, it had a good chance. Looked like it was a good point. Syracuse was out of position, so Pollock, if she's able to hit that one cleanly, might have an open court to put it in, but because the set was just a little too out of her reach, she had to readjust and couldn't make a play on it.
Syrzant with the serve. Schroeder gets to it. Set for Ross. Down the line, return to sender from George. Tight overpass. Haggerty put it back on top of the net. This one's got to go over. Yellen plays it short. Oh, Schlichter just got there in time. Another free ball for BC. Haggerty again. Off the adjustment. Nicole Nikova was there. Tight set. Palm with the left hand.
She is so good at the net. I mean, look at this adjustment. I mean, first of all, Syracuse out of sorts because that dig from Schlichter just came at a weird place, but able to readjust with that left hand and get the point.
Petrie goes back row, Schroeder. Nice pickup by Searzant. Schlichter will set it for Palm again. Around the block, Schroeder fights it off. Set out for Pollock, tipped, saved by Searzant. Chance for Palm again, off the block and out. Ava Palm is locked in right now.
And for BC, it's the sets. The sets just haven't been clean on their side of the court. You're gonna see it again, just all-out effort here for Syracuse. And these balls, even though they're on the ground or just out of rotation, they're still cleanly set up in a place where the hitters can get the point.
Serve floated long from Searzant. Jason Kennedy made the switch prior to that point. Sophie Lambros returning in place of Petrie. Talked about the distribution for the BC hitters. So Lambros coming back in. Here's Audrey Ross. Nearly an overpass. Kept alive. Now Palm just sends it over. I'm going to call 4 contacts on the Syracuse side. And now the Orange are going to make a change. Harris Wadi will come into the front row for the first time today, replacing Bunarovska. So she had been in there mainly for blocking. Harris Wadi had come in just in that spot in the rotation to serve. But now the sophomore will play the front row as well. Ross deep serve taken by George. Long run Searzant. Tees it up for Palm. She is blocked. Pollock and Haggerty this time around.
That's a good block there for Pollock, and Haggerty doing a great job just reading it again, just making sure they're covering their eyes here on Ava Palm. And you can see Palm moves out, and sets up right there, and you see the block just get there in time.
Serve was into the net from Ross, so chance for BC to cut into that gap a little bit more. It stays at 3, and now Palm goes back to serve. Yellen steps in front of Schroeder. Back set, Pollock. Palm gets underneath it. Set to the middle, and a block there for Haggerty. Read the angle perfectly from Harris Wadi.
And you can see Wadi, she wanted to go a little bit smoother across court, just didn't get enough of it. This is gonna be a great angle from the net cam here to see exactly the idea that Wadi had, and then instead it's blocked there by the BC middle blockers.
Morgan Riddle in to serve. Harris Wadi able to take care of it this time around. First kill for the New Jersey native. So again, Syracuse comes up with the response.
It's been what it's been, right? Is just when they have a chance to extend the lead they haven't really folded to the pressure Boston College has put on them here in the second set.
Pollock down the line. Got a piece of Harris Wadi. She tried to sell it. Looked back at the official, but she knew she got a piece of the ball. Third kill for Jenna Pollock. Setter change for the Eagles. Again, it's Moore, the freshman, with Anna Harrington. Moore's serve. Tight set from Searzant. There's a good block from Roach. Turning away Moore. Cornelia Roach having herself a nice senior day. 4 kills on 7 swings, and that block to add to that.
Yeah, set was just a little too close to the net, so not enough space there, and it gives Roach enough time to just be a presence at the net.
Searzant again, this one off of Roach. Tight, Roach is gonna set it up here for Harrington. Back set, and Nicole Nikova was not expecting that ball. Roach out of the middle, Shimau and Palm can't react in time. 5th kill for Cornelia Roach.
Well, and on that play for Roach, she does a good job calling for it, getting her teammates out of the way to set it up and make the play on it, and then ends up with the opportunity to put it away for Boston College. You see right there, just calling for it, and then puts it away for the Eagles.
Change in the front row for Syracuse. Sarah Vashakovska comes in to replace Nicole Nikova on the right side. Searzant, back row, it's Palm. Yellen fought it off. Schroeder puts it up. Harrington puts it through. Searzant, eyes to the sky, maybe wishing she had gotten her hands out of the way. But a friendly helper for Harrington. And just like that, BC's gone back in front.
It's one of those that look juicy, and you're like, oh, let me make a play on it, but then you realize, oh, I'm in the wrong position, let it go out, but you're already committed to making a play.
She may have thought there was a deflection from the block as well. Set to the outside, it's George. Yellen sends it back over. Searzant again, tees it up. Long run, Riddle is there. Harrington keeps it in play. One more for George, and the tip is in. Eagles defense back on their heels, and George took advantage with the changeup.
Well, Yellen does a good job to extend the play right here, but Syracuse, again, everybody moving to their positions, knowing where they got to be on the court, and even as the play extends, you see them again readjust to get the point.
Moore to the middle, Roach skips it through.
You're hearing a lot more communication from both teams out on the court. They're louder, they're trying to figure out or trying to game plan on the court specifically where they got to go, especially with what the defenses are giving them. So you're seeing a lot of good in-match adjustments here between BC and Syracuse.
Searzant, back row for Palm. High off the block, Riddle right there. Back set, Harrington, cross corner.
Oh my, that was nice.
Well, the Eagles have started to wake up here. Their offense is flowing, and Syracuse wants a timeout. Anna Harrington had 9 kills on Wednesday, her second of the day with authority.
Gave herself a nice running start there.
The ball when she's on the floor, she wants those sets coming her way.
And it showed in that first career double-double against NC State.
George down the line, just long. It was in on the sideline, but it was just out on the end line. So a close miss by George, and I think we're going to see a challenge from Syracuse. Maybe not. Green card put back into the slot.
I'll take another look at it.
Appeared to be the right call. One corner official looking sideline, the other looking at the end line, so that's why there were differing calls. Another block, save for the moment. Roach nearly had another. Harrington will have another. Here's a look at the previous point, the close miss from George. You can see along the sideline, that's definitely in. On the end line, it's close. The corner official, top right of your screen, has it out. 4-point lead now for BC. Tip falls to Harrington. Moore for Ross. Big block, but Ross too strong.
How about this from Ross? She's gonna call for it, say mine, and then right there, adjust the sleeves, and then gets up for it. I mean, you have that much time on a set?
That's when you start to flex it out. And an ace from Schroeder. And a chest bump from Ross to boot. That's when you know you're feeling it. Set point BC.
Well, if you're Boston College, you can't get too confident. You had set point in the first set, and Syracuse came back.
This was an 8-2 Orange lead to start the set. Searzant, George trying to keep it going. Schroeder, Moore, Ross wants it, tips it. On top, Roach says enough of that. Cornelia Roach, through 2 sets, has tied her career high with 7 kills. And the lefty cuts it a little bit short. Missed serve is just the 4th of the day for BC. Serving just about even. Syracuse has 1 more ace, 1 fewer serve error.
Yeah, both teams did a good job in that second set, really limiting the mental mistakes.
Harris Wadi with the serve, pass by Schroeder, set to the middle, the tip lands, no, into the net. It was pancaked up by Searzant, and then George made it a tough final ball, and Waszykovska couldn't get it over.
Now, you'd like the effort here for Syracuse. Great dive to keep the play alive. You said it pancake, and then just one more, just maybe overhit on the near side.
Haggerty credited with her 6th kill. Nice save, Yellen. Little flip shot by Haggerty. Palm blocked, saved by George. Back it goes. Vashikova blocked but out of bounds. Haggerty trying to go pin to pin there, but Vashikova with a good angle shot.
Well, both teams doing a good job extending plays. Brooklyn Yellen has been on the receiving end of some hard hit balls from Syracuse, and you see this time able to adjust on the dive and keep the play alive, but Syracuse with the point.
Emma Ortiz in with the serve. That will be long. That was well over Yellen's head this time.
I wonder what Jason Kennedy said back on that E2 timeout, because the block has gotten much better for Boston College after that timeout and really helped them in the second set.
They've just held out an alarm clock.
Time to wake up.
Exactly. Yellens blasts that one out of play. So 2 serves well beyond the end line. And now George goes back to serve. She's going to be a part of the next core for Syracuse, a redshirt freshman transferred in this year after redshirting last year at the University of Utah. Did not play for the Utes. Ross mistimed the swing a little bit, but almost worked in her favor. Palm over the block and in. Schroeder let it go, thinking it was out. It was not. Palm in double figures. She's got 11 through 2. Schroeder takes the serve. Set to the middle, Roach. That was a little bit too far off the net. First miss hit of the day by Roach.
This is what Boston College did in that first, is the sets weren't there. They allowed Syracuse to build a lead. Even in that comeback late in the first, it just felt like more mistakes from the Eagles than Syracuse.
Ross reaches for that one. Quick return. Harrington rejected. Nicole Nikova back in the middle this time. So this is the rotation tweak here for Syracuse. They started Nicole Nikova on the right side. Now they get her back in the middle where she can become more of a blocking factor.
Yeah, and she's so good at it, right? Look at the read here. She's going to look to the left, see where it goes. Before the pass even gets there, she's making a move to the left side.
Schroeder, a clean pass, set back. Harrington again. Picked up by George. It takes something off that swing. Palm reaches for the tip. Moore slides in. Yellen to back for Ross. Schlichter took it off the shoulder. George back row attack. Moore to the middle. It's Ross instead. And Audrey Ross, after a couple of mistimed shots, finally able to drive a ball.
It's one of those things that for Boston College, when you get the attacking ability from some of these players, it's either going to come at you a mile a minute, or sometimes you're going to get a little bit of a light, and you're not ready for the little bit of a light sometimes.
Lambros into serve. Pass from Ortiz. Nicole Nikova deflected to Schroeder. Ross turned away. Big block by Searzant along with Nicole Nikova that time.
Again, it's the presence up front for Syracuse that has really given Boston College some difficulties. You've got 2 tall players with long arm length and just great reads. You can just see being careful at the net as well to not touch the net on something like that where it's so close. It's smart veteran play.
Schlichter serve, saved by Lambros, continued by Schroeder. Set to Palm, a lookout. Nobody getting in front of that ball, I don't blame them.
But again, it's off the serve, right? We've been talking about this, Ben, is if Boston College is not able to handle the serve, it allows Syracuse to get in a really good position offensively to build off of what Boston College is going to send back.
It was 8-2 last set for Syracuse, 8-3 now. To the middle for Roach, saved by Ortiz. Searzant from her knees. Off the free ball, Roach again. This time it's put away. And a new career high for Cornelia Roach.
What about Schlichter, though? A couple of really good saves here in the third set. That time keeps the play alive. But Boston College able to get Syracuse out of position this time. And you said it, Roach, opportunistic at the net.
Searzant puts it over, straight down. Not sure whether that was Pollock or Roach. They were both there. Either way, BC will be happy to reel off 2 in a row.
It's that moment where Boston College, if they can string together a couple of points, now you put the pressure back on Syracuse the same way you did in the second set.
Ross with the serve, clips the net. Good pass, George. Off the block, Lambros. Set up for Pollock, tight set. The tip is out wide. Tried to go against the grain that time and didn't have much room to work with.
Like the idea, give Syracuse a little bit something different. Pollock has been all pop on the right side. That time just tried to take a little off and go down the line.
Searzant with the serve. Schroeder takes it. Set back, Pollock again. This time able to put it through. Palm saves it in front of the scorer's table. George, a high ball over. Ross, Lambros, Schroeder's tip. Kept alive by Palm. Searzant, that would have been unbelievable.
I just love the effort. Both teams, I mean, Searzant on the floor, rolling backwards, still tries to put a hand on it, an arm on it, something on it. And I know Syracuse didn't get the point, but if you're a head coach, man, you're just loving it. You're loving the effort, you're loving the heart, you're loving all of this between these two teams.
Gotta love players hitting the floor, especially at this time of year. Searzant spins it back for George through the triple block. Lambros back for Pollock, a push shot right to George. Into the middle, Haggerty's there, turning away Harris Wadi.
This is what makes it so hard, right? You get the little curveball from Pollock, and then you get the fastball through the middle. I mean, what are you expecting if you're Syracuse with the different looks Boston College is giving you?
Morgan Riddle serving. That's an ace. Tough pass there for Palm. Second ace of the day for Riddle.
I guess Boston College just has to trail 8-2, 8-3.
Right.
I mean, look at this play. They're just waiting, and then they disperse.
Riddle again to try to tie it up. Tight set for Searzant. Harris Wadi able to elevate, but didn't get much on the swing. Schroeder will, powering through the double.
I mean, that's so hard to do, to be at the net, have a double block in front of you, and get so much on it that it lands right in front.
There's not quite enough penetration from the block there. 9-9 after it was 8-3 Orange. Serve out from Riddle. And again, BC answering with a big run to get out of the early hole.
Jason Kennedy just growing a lot of gray hairs in this match alone. I mean, to be down 8-2, come back, win the second set, now 8-3 to a 10-9 in the third. It's just been back and forth.
Haggerty had to cut the swing short there, but the block is in place on George. Haggerty now up to a half dozen blocks today.
A great job here. Again, just reading the play. Pollock and Haggerty both get up. It's just that adjustment, getting to the angle that you know Syracuse is trying to pick, and BC has done a better job here in the second and third sets.
Moore back in to serve. Searzant. Diving effort, but out of the reach of Riddle. Good swing by Wasikowska. Grad student from Poland. Played at Towson for her first 4 years. Did not play on the Wednesday matchup. So again, sort of a new wrinkle. Both teams have made various adjustments throughout today. How about Harrington out of the middle this time as BC runs a design play off the serve?
Well, Harrington, we talked about it in that match on Wednesday, was so good with the 9 kills. Now picks up her 4th one of the match here today and does it with some finesse on that last one.
All even at 11. Schroeder right down the line. Set to Nicole Nikova. Haggerty got a piece and then took it off the net. Tried to anticipate the roll, but then grabbed the net as she played the ball.
Just smart IQ for Haggerty. Knew exactly where that was going, knew exactly how to play it, but just too much contact there.
Ortiz back in to serve. Tough pass from Riddle. Yellen saves it. Ross will get there. Searzant, well, miscommunication there. Ortiz had to go save that ball. Ross on the reach, and the tip drops. I don't think either side will love how that point played out. Maybe BC just happy that they got the point as a result.
I think Ortiz saw Ross point to the left, right? She's going left, so Ortiz has to adjust. She can't go down the line now. So Boston College able to get it right back to Ross. The block is a little late, and because of the contact, it opens up some space in the middle. So Audrey Ross created that play from start to finish.
Well, there was miscommunication there because there was no hitter on that side. Ortiz was in the back row, so she can't hit up front. Roach again. Finds the angle on the swing. How about Cornelia Roach? Now one shy of her first career double-digit kill game. Eagles trying to push the lead here at 13-12. Yellen's serve taken by Shamau. George rips it off the block and out. Good tool that time from the Texas native. Now George with the serve. That's in. Ross let it go. That one hit right in the corner though, so that's kind of tough to read.
It's one because you know where you are, right? And you think you have enough space behind you for it to go beyond the line, but I've seen a couple of bad reads on the end line towards the corner of those serves from Syracuse.
Goes at Ross again. Moore races over. Ross's swing. Sailed out long, and another mishit there. Syracuse led by as many as 5 early on. Boston College had the brief lead, and now a mini run has Syracuse back in front, 15-13. Wednesday matchup, Ava Palm has erupted today for Syracuse. 12 kills against just 3 errors, hitting over 250, and has been a consistent weapon for the Orange today.
Yeah, has done it all over the floor. 3 digs, 4 blocks, got the kills up there as well. But it feels like anytime Syracuse needs a momentum point, they've gone to Ava Palm, and she is cocked back and unloaded against this BC defense.
3-0 run for the Orange coming out of the timeout as they try to stretch the lead back out here in the third. Moore sets to the middle. Cornelia Roach dug. Back for Palm. She's blocked. How about a one-on-one block for Anna Harrington?
Boston College was losing these one-on-one battles early on in the match. It allowed Syracuse to come back in the first set. It allowed Syracuse to build a big lead in the second before Boston College was able to readjust. And now the block has gotten more confident, whether it's Haggerty, Roach. You see it there with Harrington.
Slide ball. Nicole Nikova turned away. BC showing it's not just the middles who are good at blocking.
You get a block, you get a block. Everybody gets a block here today. I mean, just look at the read. Again, just the anticipation from Boston College, knowing where Syracuse wants to go.
Serve into the net from Petrie that time. So that halts the momentum momentarily. Go back to Harrington for a moment, who had that block on Palm. Part of the reason, again, BC is second in the ACC, top 10 nationally in blocks per set. Harrington is on pace to have a 100-block season, which you don't always see a lot of from your pin hitters. Palm, blocked again! This time it's Roach and Pollock.
I mean, sometimes you think about the emotions of senior day and how much it means to players. We saw exactly what senior day means to Cornelia Roach, and she is showing out on senior day.
It's already set a career high in kills. Might be on her way there in the blocking game as well. Palm over everybody. Pollock waving, saying, that did not touch my hand.
Well, Syracuse thought there was a touch, but
no challenge coming. Coaching staff all seated now, trying to figure out a way to turn momentum back in their favor. To the middle, push shot right to Ross. Petrie will set it for Roach. That one dumped in. Oh, and it's your day, it's your day.
It's now 10 kills for Roach. First ever double-digit career kill game, and you can just see she has mixed it up at the net.
Ortiz, clean pass, back row, George. Ross just couldn't get there. She had gone to the corner anticipating the set to the outside, and couldn't get back to the middle in time.
That's exactly what it was, man. She was kind of cheating the play a little bit, guarding the line, and then realized her feet were stuck in mud. She couldn't move, so she had to extend the arms to try to keep that play alive.
Searzant with the serve, skipped it off of Schroeder. Yelland back, Schroeder got a roll shot away. Palm, tip, Schroeder there. Yelland sends it across. Pollock, Searzant brings it back for Schlichter. Back row, it's George. Out of the reach of Ross, it's up in the rafters. Yelland actually got a pancake to it, but it hit off the top of her forearm, and so she had absolutely zero control of that ball.
And Yelland's been all over the floor today. We talked about it on the serve receive. We talked about it on the attack from Syracuse. And again, just all-out effort. You love to see this type of play. No, it doesn't lead to a point, but you're still giving everything.
Schroeder lets that one go wisely. Eagles get back in front off the missed serve. And here comes Haggerty back into the front row.
I know the score for the second set will look like it wasn't close, 25-18, but how about this match? I mean, it's been back and forth. One team looks like they're gonna run away with it. The other team says, not today.
Plenty of adjustments in both directions. That one out wide. Chance out of the middle from Harris Wood-D, but just hooked it wide of the sideline, and Syracuse wants a timeout here. Eagles in front 20-18, looking to take a 2-1 lead here on Senior Day.
It's just so consistent. Those students and those players have an opportunity to impact their community, to impact another person's life. And you saw it there, and even in the video with the team around Leah, so emotional and so impactful. It just shows you how meaningful team impact has been, not only here at Boston College, but across collegiate campuses in the country.
You know, when they talk about, teammates through team impact, they don't just come to games. Leah's at practices, Leah's at other team events off the court. So she is very much a part of that BC volleyball family. Schroeder misses a shot high and wide. So Syracuse right back in it with a chance to tie here in the third. Riddle with a clean pass, set to the middle. Haggerty with the reach, got there. Second time she's blocked, tapped over. Chance for the Eagles to reset things. Schroeder with a good spot shot. Searzant got cut off by Harris Wood-D there, leads to a free ball. Haggerty again, this time it's turned away. She wanted it, and Harris Wood-D was equal to the task.
Yeah, this is just gonna pinball at the net between Syracuse and Boston College. Haggerty just trying to take it upon herself to get the point, but as it extends, the set's gonna come a little bit too late. As soon as it comes back, Schlichter with a great dig on that side, but set for Haggerty was too late. She couldn't get it over the net.
Great save on the serve from Yelland. Schroeder swinging wild. BC wanted a touch. Corner official had it. Stand official overruled, and so Jason Kennedy has the green card.
I think that's exactly what he's saying, is one official had the touch, and he's going to utilize the challenge.
So we'll see, at least off of initial impact, it looked like it was just a miss from Schroeder.
Yeah, it looks like it might get fingertips on that left hand.
Does it catch a piece of Harris Wood-D there?
Yeah.
critical to the challenge is that previously you could only look for what was being challenged. Now you sort of have review over the whole play.
I like that. In a lot of sports, it's happening that way, where if you see maybe a misconduct in hockey or something like that, you can call it even in the review process if it's not what you're reviewing.
So BC goes back up after the challenge win. Aubrey Moore with the serve. Sierzant to the middle. Off the block of Haggerty, but out of the reach of Yelland. Aris Wadi picks up the kill. That is her second of the day, and she goes back to serve. One of the best servers for Syracuse. See, Haggerty got a piece, but not enough. Pass from Schroeder. Set for Haggerty. Off the block, saved by Palm. Chance for George. Rolls it deep and over everybody. Tried to find the angle over the block and in, but didn't quite get enough action on the ball.
That's what happens when the block is getting there in time now, right? You've got to go over, you got to tool it, you've got to find a way to get the point, and that time just a little too much finesse forced it out of play.
Schroeder serve, long.
You're Boston College, you can't give them points back after earning a lead, and it feels like it's coming on the service line in moments that they need to build a 2 or 3 point lead.
I believe that's their 4th or 5th missed serve of this set. 8th total. Here's Ortiz for the Orange, tied at 22. Ross, Moore, back row. Riddle stays on the ground. To the middle, push shot. Yelland is there. Moore, back for Harrington. Ortiz could only hit it into the body of Palm. Wonderfully angled shot by Anna Harrington there.
Yeah, she has really picked her spots well in this match today. Felt like a couple early on, got stuffed, and she got a little frustrated, but since then, she's made the adjustments and has gotten some big points for Boston College.
Roach back into the front row. Yelland with the serve. Pass from Shamau, set out for Palm. George make that returned over by Palm. Chance on the free ball. It's Ross. Palm able to get enough of it. Back row, Palm again just bumps it over. Free ball again for the Eagles. Back set to Harrington. She slams it home. Anna Harrington showing out like she did on Wednesday. 6 kills now for the junior. Timeout. Syracuse with set point coming for BC.
Well, how about the Eagles just getting contribution? A lot of people were very surprised with the run that SMU has gone on. We got to see SMU here at Boston College. That's a really lengthy team there. That's a really good coach team, and Boston College pushed that team to 5 sets. We talked about the games BC would want back. That's one of them.
Brooklyn Yellen trying to serve out the set for the Eagles. Ortiz, tough pass. Sierzant pops it up for Palm. High off the block. No one's getting that. A money point for Syracuse. It goes to Ava Palm.
Well, we've said it. When they need a point, they go to Palm, and George at the line. It's going to be a timeout for Boston College, but it's one of those plays where you feel like you can get some momentum if you're Syracuse with George at the line. You've got your presence up front. You force Boston College into a mistake. It's all tied at 24, and then you got a chance to steal the third.
Take a look. A little bit of a tough pass, so Sierzant playing the safe route going back row, and Palm just put it off the head of Roach. No chance for anyone for BC to catch up to it. 13 kills for Ava Palm for the Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles have struggled, and that's kind of the game plan here, right? If you're able to get the serve where you want it, set up the block in a position to maybe extend the play or get the play back on a free ball, then now you're playing on your front foot and able to capitalize offensively.
Harrington, Roach, and Ross, the options up front for Moore. Skylar George the serve at Schroeder. Moore goes for Ross, off the block and in. Nicole Nakoma is there along with Sierzant. Audrey Ross has had a little bit of a tough day against that Syracuse block, but Jason Kennedy wants to have another look at it. He thinks there may have been a net violation. And again, this is a fairly low-risk challenge, right? Obviously, if you think there's anywhere close, and it could mean the end of the set.
So watch the right elbow right there. See if it comes down on the net. It looks like it does touch the top.
Yeah, Syrzan makes contact. So this should be a quick overturn. It is. NIVC semifinals in 2021. That was the year before BC would go on to win the NIVC. Eagles were in the tournament that year as well. Hallie Schroeder starts off set 4 with a nice shot down the line. Schroeder in double figures to lead BC. That gives her a dozen.
This year, Boston College lost in the second round to UConn in a 5-setter. That was a great match here in Chestnut Hill.
Morgan Riddle in with the serve. Challenges George. Bump back towards her. Middle of the floor, Palm calls off the traffic. Lambros to Haggerty. Saved, and George extends it. Lambros again. Haggerty again. This time she finds the spot. Now, the first swing was harder, but the second swing was better.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you just got to get the adjustment, get it a second time, and realize, all right, let's just cut it a little bit more smoother through the middle, and pulls it away.
That one drifts a little bit on Riddle. This serve is the 9th for BC. That will put Harris Woodie at the line. Feel like the message from Jason Kennedy going into this 4th set, just looking for a better start here. Yelland, clean pass, back set from Lambros, Jenna Pollock. Nice dig by Syrzan. George, push shot, Riddle's there. Schroeder on the timing play. Bounced it away from Palm. That's more the tempo Jason Kennedy likes to see.
Yeah, quicker pace, try to get it one set and done. And, you know, you talked about it. Boston College played from ahead in that first set. They blew the lead. Maybe playing from behind is how they have to play because they've come back in both sets they were trailing.
Setter change for the Eagles. Aubrey Moore, Anna Harrington re-enter. Dangerous pass here. Syrzan able to save it, but couldn't set it up for Nikolnikova. Didn't have the option to go over on 2 there. She was in the back row still.
Nikolnikova just it's time to jump there, so.
Moore goes with that same serve. Back set this time, and the block is there from Haggerty. They tried to get it to Palm again, but Haggerty was all over it.
Just incredible. Her reads at the net. You're gonna see it again. Just rotates to the left side as soon as that ball is hit and then covers the angle. You saw Syracuse take those cuts as well.
Another tough serve. This one, an ace for Aubrey Moore.
You talked about it, Ben. Now off to a great start. This is what they needed, right?
6-1 run out of the gate. Of course, they'll be aware of the potential comeback ability of Syracuse. Another tough serve from Moore. Good pass, though. George is blocked. Did it land in? It was touched, so it doesn't matter. Are we going to get an early timeout here from the Orange? I think Vashakoviska is saying she didn't touch that ball. It was blocked, and then it rolled along the net. I guess the question is, was it deflected by a Syracuse player, or did it land in? And we were sort of screened from our vantage point to be able to see whether or not that ball landed in. And the call from the corner official was that it was deflected, not that the ball landed in. So now they're going to get together and discuss here. I think Ganesh Aradam is just looking for some clarification as to what the call on the floor is to decide whether or not to challenge. Now, from that angle, it's a little tough to see, but it does look like the ball lands in.
Yeah, and you're gonna right about there. It's gonna take that spin, and maybe
that's close.
It is close.
Again, from the side angle, it looks like it catches the floor. From the reverse angle, it looks like it might be out. Hard to tell if that ball hits on the line or not. It does not look like Vashakovska makes contact, so obviously that would be key as to whether or not Syracuse would consider challenging. The stand official has determined that it is Boston College point, but again, what's the call on the floor? Is it that there was a touch or that the ball landed in? Either way, Syracuse may want to make sure they take another look at it. That ball is very close, but might hit the outside of the line.
You can kind of see that little red line in between.
One run for the Eagles, and Moore continues to serve. Freshman's turned into one of the best servers for Boston College this season. Back set, big rip palm. Riddle puts it over, playable for George. Shakova this time Moore with the dig. Yellen to bump set. Harrington able to squeeze it off the block and in. So two good defensive plays, and Harrington gets a chance.
Well, you're going to see it. Just a great save by Riddle, extending the play. Saw Moore as well getting on this one. It just shows you BC has made some adjustments to protect the cross-court shots from Syracuse, and they're finding ways to extend plays.
Back row, it's Palm. That's in. Much needed break for Syracuse to get him out of the run. We know, we've seen already today, 8-2 is not a safe lead by any means.
You have 8, you just got to start pulling away if you have 8. You can't allow the opposing team to get some points, and maybe Syracuse with a run up their sleeve here.
Ortiz, tough serve. Schroeder elected to play it along the line, got the bump set back, rolls it deep. Searzant to the outside for George, leaning swing, but the tip is good. George has been very effective with those tip shots.
Yeah, you're going to see it again. It's just reading the block and then saying, I don't have that much, right? But even on that one, she had an opening where she could probably put some muscle behind it.
Haggerty. Nice save by Ortiz. Chance for George. Riddle. Moore. Quick set. Schroeder. High off the block. Palm in front of Schlichter. Slide ball. Nikolnikova. Way too much court to swing at there.
Again, nice running start. Able to put it down where Boston College had no one defending.
Well, 3 in a row for the Orange. Ortiz. Yellen. Tough pass. And it's out. Jason Kennedy has seen enough. He senses momentum turning. He wants the early timeout. 8-5. The
You're having your best year yet is pretty cool.
Well, you see Julia Haggerty continues to climb that all-time leaderboard in the 25-point scoring era for total blocks, now up to 210 with 8 more today. Looking to get her team a side out here. Schroeder's shot denied. Moore couldn't save it. And the run continues for Syracuse. They had been down 8-1. It's now 5 in a row for the Orange as they try to force a 5th set. BC was up 2-1 on Wednesday on the road. Couldn't put the Orange away in 4. Tough pass, Yelland. Riddle looks for Harrington. Palm is there. Searzant to the middle. Tip shot, and it drops. Yelland and Moore were close, but not quite there.
No lead is safe today, Ben. You cannot rest on a victory if you have a 5 to 10 to 15-point lead. It's just incredible what these two teams have done.
And we know it's going to come down to the final 5-6 points seemingly every set. Harrington through the block, and George make that Ortiz not able to save it. 8th kill for Harrington, almost matching her output from Wednesday.
Yeah, just incredible. Harrington has really been a nice spark for Boston College in Wednesday's match, and now here in this match, tied for 3rd on the Eagles with kills.
Schroeder back to serve. Ortiz pops it up. Palm for George. Into the block, and it lands in. So they're going to say that was for contact, so I don't think they're going to credit Haggerty for a block there. We'll watch, see what the statisticians do. This might be one of those home scoring favorable blocks.
I think it might be net and
yeah, they say never got over, so error on George. No block for Haggerty there. Block there for Nicole Nikova, who was waiting for Audrey Ross.
One of those anticipation kills for Nicole Nikova. She has been one of the sparks for Syracuse coming into this match.
And started the day on the right side, is shifted back into her more natural middle position. Haggerty, nice pickup by Schlichter. Back row chance, George, a tip, finds the spot. Boy, what a spot from George there on the weighted tip from the back row.
Well, and you can see George celebrate before this ball even touches down. She picked the right spot. You see that hit from Haggerty come over, and then she knew it. Immediately was backing up and had her fist up.
Saw Ross at the net on the block and went right to where she had vacated. Ross answers back. Took something off that swing. It's been a little bit of a frustrating day for Audrey Ross. 9 kills against 6 errors, and Syracuse has clearly focused a lot of the blocking attention on her. Yelland back in, Eagles in front by a pair after an 8-1 run to start the set. Ortiz's pass, a good one. Palm finds the corner, blocking the net anyway, so pick your poison there. Syracuse comes away with the point and the quick side out.
Wednesday gave us a little bit of a window into this match. I mean, we saw BC win 25-20 in the first set, then it was Syracuse 25-20. BC pulled away, then the comeback from Syracuse. This match was destined to be a good one.
Back set, Harrington, that's in. 9 for Harrington. Back-to-back good outings for the junior, who has really cemented her spot in the rotation after an injury-plagued 2023 a year ago. Sophia Lambros comes in to serve. Goes at Shamau. Quick set to the middle, pushed. Lambros across, Ross a tip, that's in. Ross had to get there quickly, but she made the adjustment.
Ross and Harrington here in the 4th set, just trying to get more opportunities and take advantage of it. This time it's Ross with a little push.
Long set, George, Lambros, it comes over, tipped, and Yelland tried to save it, but put it out of the reach of Schroeder. Harris Wadi picking up the kill there. Eagles
now have 3 players in double digits, with Roach, Ross, and Schroeder.
Ross in double-digit kills for the 7th time in 9 matches. Good close to her season. Nice save there by Syracuse. Big swing off the block by Wasikowska.
Well, you said it. Wasikowska finding more chances. Has been a catalyst in some of the matches this year.
Tough serve. Good pass, though, from Ross to the middle. Roach tumbles it through, and it lands in. Cornelia Roach continuing to build on her career day.
You said it, 3 blocks for Roach. Now up to 11 kills on the day and picking her spots.
Sears to the middle, lefty shot. Lambros put it over, right back down. Lambros got a piece. Pollock can't save it. Boy, what an effort from Lambros getting back up just to even make a play on that follow-up tip.
Yeah, you're gonna see it. She's gonna get down to make the first contact. They go right back at her, and she says, I want to keep this play alive. Pollock unable to extend it, but again, we talk about those effort plays.
Overpass, saved by Lambros, and Roach was right there waiting. How did Sophie Lambros save that ball?
Just a little back flick there to set it up. I mean, look at, she's gonna get up and send it back. Kind of like an alley, a Globetrotter's alley right here. Just go back and then dunk it down with all the power.
That is setting with a little bit of flair. One hand from Sierzant off the block, saved by Lambros. Bump set, Pollock off the net, just plays it over. Harris Wadi, the follow-up set. Vashikova cuts it out wide.
Well, Lambros wanted to get in on the senior fun here today.
Everybody's had their moments, seemingly, for Boston College. Timeout taken by Syracuse. Eagles in front, 16-13. As they try to push the pace here in the 4th set. Well, certainly one great moment for this senior class game 2 years ago. A couple of them were key parts to the Boston College rotation that won the NIVC championship, the first postseason title of any kind for Boston College volleyball. It was the 3rd year the Eagles had been to the NIVC tournament, and they got to play most of the matches at home all the way through the semifinals, but had to go out to Drake for the national or the NIVC championship game. Not an easy.
At the NCAA tournament, the NIVC's well in their future, so if they decide to play in it, it's another opportunity to extend the season.
Well, obviously what happens on selection day for the NCAA tournament impacts the NIVC tournament, so I have to wait and see sort of how that all shakes out with respect to teams in the ACC. You see Haggerty front and center, among the kills leaders today for the Eagles. Out of the timeout, Syracuse looking for another response. They'll get it. Wasikowska again. And only had 2 kills through the first few sets. She didn't play in the first set, but has been a nice addition off the bench today.
Just adds that presence up front. Makes those hitters think about it twice.
Zaria Harris-Wadi with the serve. Lambros to Haggerty. Great save by Palm. George. Did she get a touch? Yes, she did. Ball was well long, but there was contact. And George now up to 12 kills.
Yeah, George has been so good against BC in the first 2 games, and you can see the touch there from the block.
Chance to tie it up here for Syracuse. Lambros, back set, Pollock off the net and in. Oh, the net may have slowed it down just enough there.
I think that's what makes Jenna Pollock so good, is she can mix it up so well, and although she doesn't do a lot of the finesse, a lot of her strikes are power strikes, sometimes she'll get that piece of the net that takes just enough off to throw a defense out of their rhythm.
Back in comes Moore. She had the big run early in this set. Chance for George, rolled over the block, popped up, Riddle, gonna chase it down. Free ball for the Orange. Back set, that one long. Wasikowska missed it, Riddle did well to duck out of the way.
So again, communication. It goes back to BC communicating, realizing Haggerty was on the right, you had Schroeder on the left, and once Haggerty decided to pull back, Schroeder decided to pull back as well.
Haggerty is there, stuffing Nikolnikova.
She is just incredible. Look at the read again. She had her arms up before her feet left the floor and still gets enough on it to put it right back down where Syracuse can't make a play.
Block number 9 for Haggerty. Teed up, Washakovska, Yellen, more tight to the net. Haggerty's gonna push it short. Dumped over, Haggerty couldn't pop it up. Heady play there by Searzant. Haven't seen that one yet from the sophomore setter. Running this 5-1 offense today. At times this year, she's been paired with fellow sophomore Mira Liedermuller. Lately, Syracuse has elected to go with a one-setter offense. There's an ace. And Jason Kennedy not happy that his team backed off the ball there. Floater from Ortiz landed in.
Interested to see if he takes a timeout, depending on this point.
Schroeder passes it, gets the set. Set out, yep. Tried to go down the line and missed it.
Well, BC was up 19-15 in the 4th set against Syracuse on Wednesday. The Orange went on a 10-3 run.
Schroeder overpass, Nikolnikova takes care of that. We're all even at 19. Jason Kennedy's practically on the floor.
I mean, again, just taking advantage of the chaos. The serve receive hasn't allowed BC to get in rhythm for a majority of the match, and Syracuse has been opportunistic about it.
Yellen takes care of this one. Set to the middle, it's Haggerty off the block, picked up Searzant. Chance for George. Tip to the back for Riddle. Pushed out, Schroeder, tip. Popped up, Schlichter. George goes to get it. Schroeder gets the set, hammers it off the net and out. Schroeder convinced there was a touch. Jason Kennedy thought about the challenge. He's reaching back for the card.
I think he's gonna pull it back.
I think there was only a deflection off the net. So the Orange have the lead at 2019. Remember, BC only has 1 timeout left as the Eagles burned an early one. Another tip from Schroeder. Great pickup, Ortiz. That ball out. George wanted the high hands, didn't get it.
You can feel it. You can feel it start building up here for both teams. Boston College pushed to the rope. Syracuse feeling the momentum. Don't you love ACC volleyball?
Adrenaline has picked up a notch or two. Good serve and an ace from Schroeder. A rare misplay by Palm. Both teams still with a timeout. Neither coach using it yet. Schroeder goes right back to her. Searzant for George on the angle. Diving effort from Riddle. It's Ross, high off the block. Searzant, George, blocked! It lands in. Shamau was closest to it. She thinks it landed out. Corner official down the line had it in. Syracuse is going to use their final challenge to look at it.
I think Shamau was just a little late turning.
Ooh, that's close.
Yeah, catches a piece of that line on that near side.
On the angle, it looks like it does catch the line, but that is oh so close.
Sometimes your peripherals, they'll play tricks on you, you know?
Well, she's thinking, so in Shamau's defense, her position, her left foot is basically
close, right?
on the line. So she's thinking anything to her left is out, right?
That's how you're taught to play it, right? Use the line as another support, but I mean, we've seen a lot of close calls. We saw the other one on the opposite side where it looked, at least on a couple of glances, that it was out, and then we got the enhanced version of it, and then you see it hit the line. So, I mean, technology has been so good to sports, and as long as we get it right, right?
That's all we're looking for in the end, is to to make sure that the calls that can be corrected are corrected. Well, we saw the reverse angle before. This one's from the side. The other thing is it does not contact Shimao at all, so that immediately sort of comes off the table. And from that angle, I think, again, I have to agree with you, it does look like it hits the line. By the way, if this call stands and it's ruled a ball inbounds and a successful block, Haggerty now up to 10 blocks today. Talked about trying to chase down that 2-block per set average. She's trailing that number coming in. So if she's gonna get there, she's gonna need to have better than a 2-block per set average over these last few matches. And a day like today, if BC can get it done in 4 and she gets 10 blocks, that's gonna get her much closer.
You know, you love math. I know you love math, man. I mean, it's just so crazy that we are sitting here just trying to watch history now, right? I mean, that's so cool. And you can see the numbers you talked about at 1.94. At a certain point in this season, she was up above 2. So in these final couple of matches, has to extend that block streak.
Tip turned away. Ross that time with the block on Nikolnikova. And the Eagles can sense it. 2 points away from the finish line. And a season sweep of Syracuse for the 2nd year in a row. And the Orange will use their final timeout.
Yeah, BC on a 4-0 run to get this lead here.
On senior day with her first ever double-digit kill performance.
Yeah, 12 kills on 19 attacks. Has only made 1 error. Has added 3 blocks to it, hitting .579 in the match today. And it felt like when Boston College was trailing 8-2, 8-3 in the 2nd and 3rd sets, they went to Roach for some big points at the net, and it really gave Boston College some confidence. It felt like it really moved the bench to get up and at them, and now you see where BC is 2 points away from closing this one out.
Well, you saw right off the top how much this program has meant to her, and she is giving it everything here in her 2nd to last home game. Moore with a nice pull out of the net just to extend the rally. Free ball, though, for the Orange. Chance for George, blocked and out. I think that caught Harrington in the face. George wins the battle at the net that time. Let's see if Syracuse has one more run in it. George with the serve. Ross, Moore for Ross, buries that ball.
Our friends down at the scoring table had to get out of the way of that one. That one had so much on it. Audrey Ross was trying to send this one to Newton center. I mean, sheesh.
Express trolley. Set point, match point for Yellens. Syracuse pulled out of this same hole in the first set to steal it. Can they do it again? Sears in for Palm. Yelland digs it. Moore sets it. Back row, Schroeder blocked. Saved by Moore. Chance for Ross. Tip. Ortiz there. Palm again, the tip. Saved by Moore again. Fought off by Yelland. Might have been a carry in the mix. Nikolnikova off the net. Roach is there. Yelland pushes it short. BC dodging bullets left and right. They will not dodge that one. Nikolnikova puts it out of bounds off Ross.
Oh, don't you just love a great collegiate rally? I mean, look at that, just punched through by Yellen, and then the finishing touches there by Sarah. I mean, just, this is what this match has been.
1 set point saved. Now it's up to Schlichter with the serve. Ross with a pass. Set back. It's Harrington. It's blocked. Reset for Yelland. It's going to be Ross. Saved by Ortiz. Free ball. BC point. They're going to say it was a double contact on the overpass. And what a heartbreaking way for it to come to an end for Syracuse. Would have been a free